Okay, we're here in North Shropshire with the Reform UK candidate Kirsty Walmsley. Kirsty's standing in the by-election being held next week. I gather, Kirsty, you've been travelling around the constituency on this wonderful double-decker bus.
Yes, it's absolutely wonderful to have the bus join us today. We've been around lots of the villages which are often forgotten by other people. So we've been to Higher Heath, Lower Heath, Northwood, Marchmley, Turnhill, Quiner Brook, lots of other places. It's got such a great presence. When people see it going round, they sort of look out the window and think, oh, what's this all about? And then, you know, it sort of gets a bit more interesting in what we're doing.
And we've come here to Wem, which is a small town in Shropshire for those who are unfamiliar with it. So in this by-election, what do you think the main issues that are concerning local people are, Kirsty?
Okay, without doubt, the most important issue in North Shropshire is healthcare, much like it is in the rest of the UK. It's particularly bad here though. If somebody needs an ambulance, it's taking 12 hours instead of the target of 12 minutes to come, and it's actually costing people their lives. And the problem isn't with the ambulances. They are queued up at the hospital with patients in them ready to dispatch them. The problem goes deeper into the NHS. The government's promised that it's going to address the staff shortages, and it's done nothing to achieve that.
Are there any other issues that people are raising with you on the doorstep?
Yes, I think, well, one of the other main issues that we're fighting for here is to try and support the high streets. In rural communities like North Shropshire, where it's made up of market towns, it's really, really important to support the high street, and small independent businesses have a really tough couple of years with COVID restrictions. And actually, we've got some great policies to support business. We would abolish all business rates for small and medium-sized businesses, and just to help level the playing field with online business by having a small 3% online levy against online deliveries.
And of course you're in a position to understand that because you're local to the constituency and you have a family business, I gather.
Yes, well, the family business isn't there anymore, but it was a carpet and flooring shop in the heart of the constituency in Oswald Street that was there for 35 years, and I subsequently had my own furniture shop there as well. So it is an issue that's very close to my heart. Other issues that have cropped up as well is obviously people are feeling very upset and angry towards the government about the Christmas party. Everybody in their everyday lives have been making lots of sacrifices to make sure that we comply with COVID regulations, and it just seems so wrong and so hypocritical and completely undermines what the government's been telling us to do.
So one rule for them and another rule for us.
Yes, exactly.
In this by-election you have quite a number of people standing against you. What would a vote for those mean, do you think?
Okay, well, yes, you're right. There's a lot of parties standing here. We've got 14 parties on the ballot paper. But looking at conversations that have happened locally, on social media and in person, people have just completely ruled out anybody that's not been born here or isn't local to the area, because there's a real feeling that the government doesn't understand rural communities and they feel they need a strong local candidate. This has always been a Conservative constituency, but the Conservative Party have made the mistake of parachuting somebody in who's not from the area. They're from Birmingham, and I think that's made a lot of people very upset, that they've been taken for granted and that the government doesn't understand what they need in an MP. Just to answer your question, what does a vote for Reform UK mean? It's really important that people vote with their hearts and their conscience. Helping somebody like me get into Parliament is giving common sense a foot in the door of Westminster, and I believe that I will be the first of many MPs for Reform UK in Parliament. We have hundreds of candidates lined up that we'll be announcing next year. So I think this will be the start of a much bigger thing.
Now there's been some wild talk, and I think it is wild talk, about the strength of the Liberal Democrat vote. Have you got any comment to make about that?
Yes, it's very interesting. With this being such a strong Conservative constituency, I really can't see large swathes of people swinging to the Liberal Democrats. In past elections, they've not come second, they've come in third place. And actually the information the Liberal Democrats have been putting out is very, very misleading to make it look like they come second and they've got a chance of winning here. which just isn't the case. If in this election we did get a Liberal Democrat elected in North Shropshire, it would be a flash in the pan. You know, there's been the odd Liberal Democrat that's got elected elsewhere, and in other seats it's been for a very short amount of time and then they're gone. A vote for Reform UK would be a much more powerful statement to the government. They're very afraid that actually we're filling the ground that they've left. They're no longer the party of low tax and low regulation.
They would be more worried about a Reform UK success than a Liberal Democrat success.
Yes, because our party's here for the long run, and we won't be going anywhere, and we'll just be building on that.
And presumably the Reform UK platform is very much more like a traditional Conservative platform.
Yes, and I think a lot of Conservatives are feeling at the moment like the party just isn't what they signed up for. They're waking up to that. I think this is just the foreground for the backdrop of what's going to happen in the rest of the country after this election.
Well, I look forward to the rest of the country waking up to the reality of Kirsty Walmsley MP.
Thank you very much.